Yo, what up, dudes, gals? What's going on, everybody? Huge news. I just wanted to talk about that stuff. Already got the route preset, so glad you guys came and joined. And let's get this started, man. So what up, guys? We got some cool news. Let me get down to standard because I just got off the freeway. Yeah, guys, I mean, we have back-to-back updates. I felt like we were done with one, and then we got another one, and then all the early testers, Congress, JD, Devin, Dirty Tesla, the normal people I keep up with, my boy Spencer. Those are the few that come to mind with early testers, I believe. Really excited about that, but I did, in my previous video, I have a series going on with the San Joaquin group for FSD Chronicles 37. This will be 38. I interviewed Danny, who is aka Wicked Cybertruck, so check that out above. But right now, guys, we're running on 14.3.3 with let's see here. I think, let's see. Sorry, I was trying to pay attention there. Software. Release notes. So let's see what we're on here, guys. So we're on 14.6.7 for the software and 14.3.3 for the FSD. I mean, guys, you guys I've emphasized it a lot. Just parking. I'd say it's, for me, 80% of the time it does, 80 to 90%, it does a great job. And then obviously Navi taking you to the back of the store instead of the normal front. That's another thing that is kind of annoying. But honestly, my favorite feature is Hey G. I don't want to say it and activate it, but let's do a good news of the day. Hey Grok, tell me some good news that happened in the U.S. today.
Great news. The U.S. and Iran reached a peace deal to end the war, reopen the Strait of Hormuz, and block Iran's nuclear program. They'll sign it Friday. Plus, the New York Knicks won the NBA championship after 53 years, and fans are celebrating big time.
Sweet. I'll start obviously doing that. And my videos, I think that is such a sleeper feature. I use it so much, especially with the busy family, routes change, or we need to go places. I mean, that's where, I wanted to kind of pivot what FSD does for me as a family. My lady has one. She has the Model Y Juniper. She loves it. I mean, she texts me all the time. We kind of nerd out together. She texts me how she feels about the updates, where, and she obviously likes the Y better than the 3 just for height and size wise, but she's been pretty happy with it. She says that it's like way more confident from all the versions that we've had. And it's so cool to be able to share that with my lady. Our FSD experiences, our Tesla experiences. And, it's funny, the other night she said, she's like, now I know why people love these cars so much. And, it's that saying, guys, if you get one, it's going to be hard for you to look at any other vehicle. My lady and I, we look at the aspect of FSD being so valuable, right? That alone to us is, I mean, you can't even put a price on that, honestly. It's been such a big emphasis in our family with FSD, just based on the stats, videos and everything. We're very, we like to see the facts, the numbers, the action, the proof. And, it's done us amazing. It's kept us safe. And not only that, it's just improved over time. Besides that, I mean, the UI updates are huge. I love that we get not only FSD updates, but UI updates. you know, because Tesla knows that eventually stuff that stays in the software gets old, gets boring, whatever the case may be, right? But they constantly improve it. And again, guys, I can't stress it enough, the over-the-air updates. I mean, name me another company that does it consistently, you know? Yeah, I mean, I've been branching out. I did a Berkeley drive. That was insane. You know, Berkeley is a very busy area, heavy foot traffic. UC Berkeley is located out there. So, you know, it's constant foot traffic, a lot of stuff going on. It's a busy city for sure. And that lady just, or that dude was like, all right, send it. All right, guys, we got to our first destination. Let's see how it does with parking here. All right, let's check it out, guys. All right, cool. Within the lines. I'd say that's pretty solid. A little heavy on here, but I see why for the curb. But cool, let's go to our next one. Obviously we did, San Joaquin is out in the Central Valley. So I've been testing the Vision, obviously a lot of freeway driving getting into the Central Valley, and it's kind of busy sometimes on that highway. And I feel like for the 3, and I've said it in my videos before, I feel like the Wise reaction time, and look, biker, FSD handled that like a freaking glove. Like a freaking glove. Didn't stutter. Steering wheel again. Guys, that's what I pay attention to. Didn't do this. So that's awesome. And right here, you got people going in a Jeep, guy walking in front of me. FSD's like, nope, you're going to see me. I'm going to make sure you see me. I mean, guys, come on. Come on. Like, guys, this is so hard to achieve, and it's like, it feels so human-like, which is freaking insane. Right? Guy on a freaking scooter, no problem. I mean, so far, guys, we've had some good highlights on this drive. We made our first stop, which is Safeway. Shout out Dirty Tesla, man. You know, I'm keeping up with you and Devin. I like the way you guys do your drives. You know, that's what's cool about the Tesla community, right? Like, we're all here for each other. We all believe in the same thing, and you know, we just want stuff to improve, get better, and so that way, for the sake of humanity, we got stuff to help us out. You know, change for the good. But busy road today. It is 1:45 in the Bay, so a lot of people are either on lunch, getting off lunch, and whatever else activities they're up to. Smooth. This is a kind of a low scoop, and it handled it well. Shout out Hardware 3 owners. Obviously 14 Lite should be out soon. I'm interested to see FSD videos in that. I made a video with my boy Tony in a Hardware 3 Model X. I mean, shoot, man, it did good. We went a couple places, did a couple drives. So, all right, guys, we were at a Target right across the street. I kind of asked Grok to route me to some busy areas. So let's see how it parks. Boom. Says I'm gonna take this spot. Bam! Look at that. Parking job. Good. 2 out of 2, guys. Let's check it out. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. And bam, bam. We like it. All right, cool. Let's hit the next drive. All right, guys. Next topic, robo-taxis. Guys, they're popping up everywhere. I mean, for those of you on X, look at that. Handle that well. Perfect. Cool. We like that. Not a super brake stab where I almost hit my head on the freaking steering wheel. Robo-taxi, guys. I mean, shoot. Robo-taxi. That's going to be insane. There's so many videos, pictures. I mean, I feel like this is such a crazy month for Tesla. For the robo taxi, I'm on the fence of it helping out in the aspect of grandparents. Obviously that conversation has to be made with their kids or whoever takes care of them. I'm really excited about that. For those who've been keeping up with me, I lost my grandma last year, and that's the lady I think of all the time, who would enjoy this. Unfortunately, my grandma had a lot of appointments with what she was dealing with, and this would have been clutch to have my dad be driven, and yeah, guys, FSD's just taking the crazy route to get out of here. It could have went straight. But this is everyone's gripe, and my gripe. This is it right here. Why didn't it just go straight to make a right? I get it. You beat all the extra little doodads over there, but you could have just went straight FSD. But that's the thing, right, guys? This is the little details they just have to iron out. But if you look at this as a whole, I mean, guys, it's insane what has been achieved. And like I said, I can only speak from version 13. I got in a Tesla last year, and I mean, from July to July of this year, it is incredible how amazing this technology is, and that's why I make my videos. I like to showcase and have people make their judgment on their own. I feel like actions speak louder than words, and why not just put them both together, right? Talking to you guys about it, Tesla news and what's going on, robo taxi. I mean, guys, that is so endless, right? And the pricing, I believe, will be very fair for people that that don't want a car, right? That don't want a car payment, that can actually get around by just Ubering or whatever, Lyft, right? But now you have Tesla that doesn't have a middleman. It's just them. It's their own robo-taxi. They're not having to rely on others to drive, right? And eventually, once all this stuff gets ironed out, I mean, just think about it, guys. Being able to add our cars to the fleet. You can go shopping one day with family and be like, you know what? I want my car to make money today. So let's do an hour or two of shopping. Let's say you spend $100, you get $60 back. You really had a $40 day. I mean, it's endless, guys. Shout out to my boy Elon. Getting that trillionaire from. There's a pretty powerful photo I saw online of what his accomplishments is. We're not going to get into the politics or anything. I'm more of an actions type of guy. Everyone has their right and wrongs. Everyone has done their right and wrongs in life, and why focus on the wrongs when we can focus on the rights, which are huge things for our country, from Starlink to FSD to Neuralink. There's so many things that to be so excited about as a Tesla owner, investor, or just a Tesla guy, fan, girl, whatever. I mean, there's so many things that he's doing to improve just the sake of humanity, and it's great, right? And yeah, I understand everyone doesn't, he's not their cup of tea, but if you look at him as a whole, what he has done for humanity, it's pretty amazing. But like I said, I'm not ignorant to the fact that some people just may not be a fan of him, and that's okay. Everyone's entitled to what their opinion is, but I'm on the fence of appreciating and embracing what is here, and it's helped me in my day-to-day, from FSD to Starlink. I mean, shoot, there's been so many times I've been at work and I have absolutely no signal for work and nothing's working, and I get to hook up my Starlink, and yeah, I can work through my Starlink, send text messages, emails, whatever the case may be, photos. It's just an awesome tool to have on the job, especially in rural areas with no signal. So, I mean, those are my two, FSD and Starlink, baby. I think they're definitely one of the greatest inventions. I mean, I guess you would call it the software for FSD. I actually brought up robo-taxi to a lot of people, and Like, yeah, heck yeah, if we use it, especially knowing that there's no middleman in his Tesla, and if the prices are competitive, I mean, why not, right? Instead of, hey, you know what, I don't feel like driving today, I'm gonna hit up a robo taxi and it's gonna take us around town, you know, just the way it's designed, the doors, and you know, the fact that we're on the same stack as robotaxi. I mean, guys, that's freaking huge. Tesla can totally be like, oh well, for this package we have to charge X and X amount because you're on the robotaxi. Nah, like, you know what? Instead of doing that, we're sending it to all the cars, which is really cool to think about. Um, the bigger picture of things. I mean, think about it, guys. Not only robotaxi, FSD, everything that's happening in Europe. We're getting approvals. It's like rapid fire news, rapid fire action every single week, and it's awesome to be a part of and see all the excitement in the community. And I'm glad I joined. you know, and it's so true, guys. When you switch over, when you finally take that leap of faith, it's hard to go back because of just all the convenience. It's just what you value, right? Some people still value the noise, the loudness, all that stuff. It's just really where you're at in your car life, I guess you would say, right? I'm in more so the savings and the tech of the world. So, and I, no disrespect to the guys that still love coilovers and lowering and springs and all that stuff, the car scene, and man, I still got love for that too. But I'm just at a point in life where that stuff doesn't excite me as much as it used to, but I still respect it at the end of the day. But shout out Danny, shout out Prez, shout out Wen. I would like to talk about that whole experience yesterday going to Bakersfield and dropping that stuff off to those families. That was a really cool experience. I was very fortunate to be able to tag along with Prez and Danny, and just being a parent and seeing that and being able to give back and bringing Danny's Cybertruck, wicked Cybertruck, for people to see and the kids to see. It's super cool. People always say like, that's such a nice Cybertruck, and it's a wicked wrap Cybertruck. But I mean, the moral of the story is, community, and that's one thing that I love about the Tesla community. When we all come together, it's like we're unstoppable, right? We just kind of feed off all of each other, and it's contagious. It's fun to be around. And not only that, you're around like-minded individuals at the end of the day, guys, and that's what it's about. Being able to give back to your community and making, we made Families Days yesterday. Post a picture below what we delivered. It's for special needs kids. A wheelchair that's 3D printed and not all metal and have chances to fall and hit the metal and stuff. And it made me really happy that we dropped those off. And like I said, I'm very thankful to be a part of that experience. Shout out Joe and shout out Danny. Thank you guys. I'll definitely always remember that day for sure. If you guys, I beat it in all my videos, guys. If you are if you're getting into Tesla, whatever state you're in, find a community. You can find them on Twitter, or not Twitter, excuse me, X and Instagram. You can find them in a bunch of Tesla owner clubs in your state. So yeah, guys, I mean, being in a Tesla owners crew has been amazing. Shout out Joe. He runs the club very well. Keeps us involved in a lot of community things, and just being able to be together as a fam, and just be a light to those out in the world and like-minded individuals. And just, it's a fun time. It's a fun experience. It's hard to explain. You just got to go and do it. I'm a shy one too. I'm very closed off when I first meet you a little bit, and eventually I warm up, right? That's just how I am. And I'm trying to break that barrier, in which I have, just full sending it at times, right, when needed. But meeting new people is always fun. It's crazy, some of the stories that the people I've met and some of the stories I've heard, and it just humbles you. And it's just the Tesla community is everything. They're great. Everyone is so supporting. So come get you some. Shoot, guys. I mean, we touched on the topics I wanted to talk about today. I'm just waiting for .4. Like I said, guys, I am on 14.3.3. I'm just waiting for that .4. And, once I get it, I'll definitely, choose a new route. This one, we did Safeway, Target, and then I just had Grok choose random ones. But yeah, guys, I think we're going to go to our last stop here. And, we'll end it here. But put in the comments, guys, how's everything going? How's your guys' thoughts on all the Tesla news and everything that's going on? Oh, we've been here before. How's all that going? What FSD, issues you guys having? What ideas would you guys add? I would love convoy mode. The Tesla owners, San Joaquin, we be outside, man. So, we usually all commute together. So, convoy mode would be dope. And if there's one company that can solve it, it would be Tesla. All right, Tesla, what are we doing here? You gonna fix this parking spot? Of course not. Oh, look at that. Looky that. Looky that. It chose a new spot. Heck yeah. That's the way you end a video, FSD. Heck yeah. All right. Let's see. Did I get a little too excited? Yeah, in the lines. All right, I'll take that. Well, guys, shoot. Got good news. Good news is always good news. I appreciate you guys. Let's keep the Tesla community strong. Let's stay together. And appreciate you guys watching. Let me know in the comments anything you'd like me to try in the Bay, an area you want me to drive. Other than that, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week.